And good morning, everyone. All about the gyro here. Hope all of you are well from a sunny and warming considerably compared to the last couple of weeks here in Nashville. It is March officially. So this video is being recorded during week 12. The last week of season 1 of the 2021 iRacing calendar. Matter of fact, this is being recorded on the 2nd of March. But by the time it is uploaded and onto the YouTubes, I will be on a short sabbatical. Basically, between work life, personal life, iRacing life, disc golf life, etc. It is that time for me to take a few days off, relax a little bit, decompress, defragment. And so as I'm having my coffee this morning, in this particular vlog, we're going to do a quick summary of the season and give a little insight into what I'm starting to work on for season 2. So, sophomore slump, be real. Second full season on the service, and a lot of struggles. Coming to grips with a new car, new style of racing, a bunch of issues on track and some off track that I haven't advertised publicly. Have all combined to left a very difficult second season on the service. So what are the lessons from it? Well, kind of comes down to these 4 things. First, iRating is not everything. I am more convinced that anything below 1750 iRating, maybe 2000 iRating, there's more elements of luck and avoidance of incidents, etc. They contribute to success than anything else. So I'm not so concerned about iRating, even though mine is abysmal. Those who are regular viewers of the channel know why, but those that aren't, it can be summed up in a very simple way. The IMSA Championship tried very hard to just beat me senseless. So much so that I have dropped out of IMSA, even though I only need one more race to get my racing credit. It's not worth the agony. The culture that goes on in the IMSA Online Sports Car Championship is just simply unacceptable. Poor driving standards, very toxic chat, and really pushes for the advocacy of having live race stewards in the popular divisions. Because you would never say some of the things that I have heard. They haven't been directed at me. It's just I have heard people say. You would never say those if they were right in front of you. It's incredibly provocative. So it's just the right move. Leave something that's very toxic and enjoy my racing outside of IMSA. Now, I will say publicly, it looks like SimLab Production Car Challenge, they have really improved over there. They have a pretty good schedule coming up. In the past, I had been pretty critical about it. But they definitely seem to be improving the product, the community, and the scope. And so I want to make sure that they are publicly commended for that. I do see what's going on over there, and it's really good. So, yeah, basically I have lost almost 400 iRating this season, and 350 out of it is in IMSA. And so for next season, what will the focus be on? Well, as it sits right now, and I say that with a great qualification, for certain we will be in European Sprint Series, European Endurance Series. We're looking to break into the GT Endurance Series and also the VRS Endurance Series. Now, all of those are Saturday and Sunday events. So you got to have something during the week. So European Sprint for sure is going to be showcased. But I'm also looking at a couple other series that have not made regular appearances on the channel. And it's because of a thought that Australian streamer Daniel Gray said. And that was, it's sad that everyone's going to GT3 because there's a lot of great racing series on the service that people miss out on. And I agree with that. So we are looking at Formula Sprint to do a full campaign in Formula Sprint. And, try to squeeze in something maybe in the C license category. The GT3 Fix series, lucrative in terms of time, but in the time planning, they run offset of the VRS Sprint Series. So the VRS Sprint Series runs at a certain time frame, and then in the gap, because it's every other hour, they'll run this new GT3 Fix Series. So I like the concept. I still think it needs to be in C license. But we may have a gander at that as well. So there's going to be plenty of racing on the channel. And I would like to actually run for a divisional championship in either EES, GT Endurance, maybe European Sprint Series. I'll be in a low enough division to where I may be competitive. But I'm also looking at some other series. I'm looking at maybe driving Spec Racer 40 again. I'm looking at possibly Formula Renault 2.0. You also have Porsche Cup. You have F3 and Indy Pro may come to the fore as well. So there's plenty of options with that. And so my last thought is, what's the general state of iRacing? Well, you got a lot of people on the service. Still a lot of content, a lot of multi-class racing. But the two glaring questions is, one, will there be a 24 Hours of Le Mans? Because a lot of people are interested in that. And the other one, which is the really big one, is how are you going to police the community? Because the one thing that I am more and more convinced on is that in the heavily populated series, so VRS sprints, IMSA, where you have large turnouts per time slot, you need life stewards, and you need someone in there making sure that things do not get out of control, and they need to have the authority to act immediately. All it would take is just a few bannings off the service during a live race where it said such and such was disqualified or expelled or banned by said race steward for whatever conduct, and you would get some behavior modification. And I think iRacing needs to start taking a stronger stance on certain types of violations. Voice chat and text chat, I mean, I know of at least 2 situations where members have been indefinitely barred from voice and text chat. And the one Captain Obvious question I have is why are they on the service then? If they can't play nice with others in the sandbox, they don't need to be part of the community. And it's almost like considered a badge of honor with some of these people, and that is inappropriate to me. It's unacceptable. And we need to be raising the standards of conduct. And then the other part is, of course, the wanton levels of deliberate wrecking that seems to be happening. My view on targeting is very simple. It's very clear cut. The first time that you do it, you're gone. And you are expelled off the service. And it will need to be a minimum of 6 months. I actually prefer a year. And you don't hesitate. You basically say, this is our policy. If you intentionally ram people, you will be permanently removed. I know of some that want a lifetime ban for intentional ramming. The one reason why I'm hesitant about that is, remember, there's always 3 sides of the story: what we say, what they say, and what actually happened. And you have to now consider instigation. You now have to consider provocation into that. Because if someone has been provoked to the point where they have now intentionally rammed their opponent, it is not acceptable that they did that, because please be the reasonable citizen of iRacing that we expect. But now there's mitigating circumstances. And the whole part of instigation needs to be cracked down on. When you go onto a public voice channel and say things like, shut up, stupid, or, well, I'm going to immediately protest that because you intentionally did that, that's frankly instigation. You should not be allowed to say that. Just do it quietly. And candidly, since I've disabled voice chat, I've raced better because I haven't had to deal with the riffraff. So those are the 2 things I think iRacing needs to really come to grips with. I think the first one, there were some announcements coming up about the iRacing Endurance Series. Is Le Mans going to be mentioned in that question mark? Some people say yes, some people say no. But the other part is just, got to start squashing bad conduct. Otherwise, you're not going to retain the users that you have, and you're going to bleed them off to the rapidly improving ACC and R Factor 2. So anyway, that's about it. In terms of racing for the rest of the season, I don't know. I might do one, but I'm in that, rearm, reload mode. So anyway, my sabbatical will start tomorrow, and I will be back on the service on the 11th of March for week 13 as we get ready for season 2. So thanks a lot for all of your support. Make sure you like, follow, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.